No, awesome.
Hello, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Podcast. I am your host, John Harris. Today on the Rock and Roll Podcast, we have ATTIC Theory back for the attack because we just discussed this. Lewis, you guys were on the show in February of 2020. This will air probably like January or February 2021. So I definitely dig the fact that you guys are in the attic working on the theories. Producing some records. So today on the Rock and Roll Podcast, we have ATTIC Theory back for the attack. They have a new EP called The Sign of an Active Mind, released in 2020 via Thunder Gun Records, which, I mean, come on. Thunder Gun? Why not? So right now I'm being joined by Lewis, who's going to share some more information about this fantastic release, a couple of tracks, what the boys have got going on. So Lewis, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Great to have you on. Now, year in review. I mean, I don't think anything really important happened this year, but year in review, how has the year gone for you? How's the year gone for ATTIC Theory? It seems like, despite the fact that all hell broke loose, long list of things from Brexit all the way down to Brexit. It's like bookends of Brexit right now. With a pandemic in between and a few other things. So you guys seem like you're productive. Like who cares that the world's falling apart? We're going to come out with a record.
Yeah, well, it's been quite a strange one for us, to be honest, because we won the Planet Rock Award as well at the beginning of the year, Best New Band. So that obviously put us in a good stead at the beginning of the year, and then from then we've just kind of hit the ground running and cracked on like normal, to be honest. Obviously we haven't been able to play live, but we've been keeping ourselves entertained with the wonders of Zoom and Skype and Facebook Live. And yeah, we haven't really noticed any difference, to be honest. and obviously. Yeah, and then we went back into the studio as soon as like restrictions had lifted. We'd already started working on the EP, but obviously had to stop. And then we finished it off and managed to release it, obviously, 27th of November. Yeah, so it's been a weirdly normal year for us.
That's fantastic, because that's one of my key questions. Is because at the beginning of the year, Lewis, shortly after you guys were on, the big question was, tell us about the summer, all those tours. We had bands going everywhere. I had things booked, bands coming through town that just eventually derailed and got canceled, and then the question sort of turned into, well, what are you doing with your COVID time now? We call it COVID time. And it sounds like the cold hard reality of it was that you guys just said we're gonna crack on. Now, one of the things I didn't even realize was when you guys were on last time, it was just releasing singles.
Yeah.
But now, because it says debut EP, and I'm like, that's silly. We chatted about an EP last time, and I look, and no, we didn't. We were just chatting about singles, and then you guys finally came out with an EP, and it looks like two of the tracks, anyway, are tracks that we chatted about. So I guess my question is, why not leave it at a 4-song EP? Why add on the other two to make it a 6-song EP? And then why not just add on another 2 songs and make it a full album?
See, that is a good question. We wanted to get something out this year, and we'd already recorded, pretty much recorded the 6 songs. We had lots of touch-ups to do and things like that. We didn't really want to keep people waiting, to be honest, and we thought as a release, these are quite strong songs together. But we are going to be releasing an album 2021, sort of mid, which is going to be 12 songs. May include some of the tracks here, but it's it's one of those things. We didn't want people waiting. It's not fair really for people to you can't really make an opinion on a band over 1 or 2 songs. I think we wanted them to have a bit of something to sink their teeth into, to actually be able to go, that's what this band are, rather than oh, that song's good, that one, and not really know what the whole package is, basically. So we wanted to enlighten people before the end of 2020.
Yeah. Did you guys then re-record or remix or anything, My Own Design and Saints Among Us? Did you guys do anything with that to fall more in line with the newly recorded material?
Yeah, Saints Among Us is a completely different recording. We've re-recorded that entire song. My own design. We've remastered it. And added anything extra we needed to, because that one was sort of recorded quite recently. Well, I'll say a year ago, but obviously with the way time is now, a year can be 5 minutes. When you're in lockdown time, it doesn't really matter, does it? The world kind of stopped, and you're like, right, I'll pick up from there. But Saints Among Us is completely re-recorded. It's not the same version at all. It's completely redone.
Did you guys revisit it then and change anything, or did you just re-record it because you felt like the recording wasn't up to snuff?
A bit of both, really. The recording original recording had our old drummer on it. We've had a new drummer for over a year, and now I think he joined us like April in 2019. Matt Simon. He basically wasn't on the original recording, so we re-recorded it. So he's playing on it. And it's just one of those things. I just think that, we changed the middle part as well, and we felt like the song deserved another round, another go. Basically, let's re-record it. Let's do it how we think it should sound, and that's why we did it. But mainly because Matt wasn't on it. So
okay, very cool stuff. But he's there on the other 5 tracks.
Yeah. Matt's on every single one of the tracks now. As I say, he's been our drummer now since April 2019.
Okay,
cool. So and we have a 6th member as well, another guitar. We have 3 guitars in this band.
No,
we're like Iron Maiden.
No, that's like putting male hamsters in a cage. It's just going to end up bad, Lewis.
Yeah, we've done it for texture and layers. That's why we wanted it, because on the studio you layer everything all the time and you make it sound massive and fat. And we decided, well, what's the point of doing that just for the recording? Let's do it live. Let's sound massive and fat live. So that's why we did it.
Massive and fat. That's going to be the box set you guys are going to come out for the holiday. Massive and fat, baby. And then you'll have it'll be a box set. So the first set will be massive and fat, and the second half will be fat and happy. It'll show a Buddha. I like where this is going. This is good stuff, Lewis. Now, these 6 tracks, you mentioned it kind of happened in pieces because of the way the year went. So take us through the production of this. Was everything written and it was just a matter of recording it in pieces, or were you guys still writing it? Do we see, like, Side of an Active Mind, talking to you in December of 2020, to me that says, wow, I'm in lockdown, I'm staring at the same 4 walls, I just realized that without the distraction of being on the tube back and forth from my cubicle every single day, speaking of hamsters, I have a really active mind. I'm scared to be alone with myself. But I could be making that up.
See, it's similar, but the reason why the title is what it is, we've decided that we work as a hive mind, is what we like to say. We work as as one, as a collective. So the sign of the active mind is the tracks on the release. So it's us working as one individual, one hive mind. That's where the sort of title comes from, and it's inspired by Sherlock Holmes as well. And as is the band name as well. And it's one of those things. It was when we started putting it together. The songs were already written. It was just mainly the recording them. But we had restrictions, obviously, because of lockdown, where we had to do it one at a time. So we had to know what everyone else was thinking when we did it. It's not the usual process that we do. We'd normally all be there together, all have like a laugh and a joke, and enjoy studio day. Nothing like that. We were doing it one at a time. You'd basically, tag team as you're going out. High five as well. We can't high five. Sanitize your hands. High five.
Sanitize your hands again.
Yeah, sanitize your hands again. Then, but yeah, it's one of those things. That's what it was like. So we all had to really, really work as this hive mind. Otherwise, it wouldn't have worked. Because no one would have heard anyone else's parts. So you had to know that it was ready to go, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Otherwise, you might do something and once it's recorded, and we're like, "What the hell has that person played?" But it did. Thankfully, nothing happened like that. It was all very, very organized.
That's good. Very good. Now, one of the singles off of the album was "Your Light." Comes complete with is it a lyric video or a music video?
It's a music video. It's it's something we had to, because of lockdown. We decided to record the session, and we had some old footage from the previous video, My Own Design, which we put in there as well. It was one of those things that, you know, because of the restrictions, you couldn't then invite a crew to come in and start filming it. So we did it all on our phones and cameras that we owned, and just paid someone to sent all this guys through to the guys Red Visual, who did My Own Design, and they put it together for us. So it was a lot easier than I thought it would have been for a video, to be honest, because we didn't have to trawl through the hours of footage. They did. Here you go. We recorded hours of footage for you. Yeah, make a music video, please. That's sort of how it works.
Yeah, well, it looks like you guys were so low on budget, you had to hold the microphone yourself.
Yeah, I did. That's how I recorded that song. Yeah, I've never recorded a song. It's the only song on the EP that I held the mic for. All the rest obviously were on the stand. To get the power, Loic, the producer, told me to hold it basically, so I could scream. So that's what, that's why I'm holding it on that. That's actually all of the footage. We're not reenacting it. It's actually how it's recorded.
Wow.
So it's not pretending. That is actually a take that I did.
Okay. Now, I'm actually using, looks like the same windscreen that you were using right now, which is fantastic. Shout out to Stedman that redirects the air, not just stops the air. So we don't lose any of those precious high frequencies. Now, how did you do that? Did you hit the windscreen at all? Anytime? Were you like, bonk, sorry, got to redo that take?
No, I just... there was a few versions of that, but I think that one was the right one. How it played out, you know. So I'm pretty happy with the, sort of how the video turned out, because they haven't captured any of my really, really awkward faces when I'm screaming.
The faces only your wife knows.
Yeah, exactly. She, it's one of those things. It's, you know, faces for the bedroom only. But yeah, it was one of those situations where, it was another thing out of our comfort zone. You know, something like a video that we, you know, normally, like the last one was scripted and we knew what we were doing. This one was we're just going to record us playing and doing our bits individually. So, and obviously most of us, apart from me, were wearing masks as well. And so it was, it was a bit. That was a bit of a strange one to do, to be honest. You know, that was the sort of, that added a bit of weirdness to the studio time. So obviously, you know, it's already pressured that on my own, and then we're getting filmed. So
yeah.
So.
Well, and then there's spliced in some live footage of Leonard Skinner here, the 3 guitar players. Absolutely freaking crazy. Is this the footage here that's live? Is this from The Rocks, the Best New Band Award, Planet Rock? Is this what this is?
No, it's from we did a live show for I think a festival called the Waterloo Festival, which we were meant to play, which is a local festival around by where we all live, well, most of us live, and we decided they recorded the footage, a company called Sin AVS, and we asked them, could we just have it, and they were fine with it, but it was also to help push the festival at the time. You know, by using the footage, we kind of tagged that there was a full live show of that where that footage came from as well, so it helped kind of push the festival as well, which was. It was nice that they let us use it. Like, we thought it would be a bit boring if it was just studio footage, to be honest. That was why we threw some live in there as well.
Okay, and the weird guy with the doll. You got to throw him in there too.
Yeah, he's got even got a name. He's called the Stranger. He was from My Own Design, and we wanted to do like a sort of a 3-part video. That was the actual plan. We were going to record him, and he was going to be in it, playing either that character or a different character. And obviously because of COVID, we weren't able to do that. But we still wanted to include him in it. So that's why that's outtakes from the previous video.
Okay. All right. Very cool stuff. Now, so you guys won the award, very high. The year happened. You guys just kind of cracked on. But did it change, I guess, I don't know, what could have been? Did it change anything for you guys, or was this the plan all along? Because I imagine after winning that contest, you'd be lined up for either more contests or some tours or something. I'm sure you probably won something that, you know, really helped. So I guess take us through the aftermath of winning that contest.
Well, we were obviously on a massive high. One of the things as well, a lot of the people from, you know, from Planet Rock who didn't vote for us, you know, any of the, say, naysayers, we wanted the opportunity to show them what we were like live. And, you know, we were getting geared up to do lots of shows, you know, and then all of a sudden the world stopped turning. You know, just before we went into lockdown, we supported a band called Terrorvision, who were quite well known in the UK. And then we supported a band called Tragedy, which is a Bee Gees metal band, basically. They're a metal cover band of the Bee Gees, and they're like absolutely amazing. I think they're from New York. And so the shows that we were doing were quite, you know, they were big shows, and they sold out, and it was you know, starting to people to see what, you know, if they hadn't noticed us before, they might do, and then obviously everything stopped. But from my point of view, it's kind of a good thing. We've now got a release that people can listen to before we go back to playing live. I think people can get to know the lyrics, they can get to know the songs, and then sing along to them rather than be pressurized and, you know, make the words up as going along. But yeah, I think you know, I think that's one of the plus sides. People will actually know the songs from the release when they come to see us live. So it's not just, you know, a couple of singles and then there's 4 other songs that they don't know in a half an hour set. At least people will have the opportunity to, you know, sit down, listen to them, and you know, sort of sink in. Especially with a lockdown, there's time to sit there and actually, you know, sort of absorb what's going on with the songs. So. But yeah, it's as I said, it is quite a strange one, to be honest. I just think that, you know, it would have been lovely to have, you know, the ride the wave straight after the award, but, you know, we're just gonna have to fight harder. Personally, I think that's what it is. You know, try harder. You know, we've always got that award under our belts, and it's, you know, but it's, you know, we've got something to prove now, basically, in 2021.
Mm-hmm. Well, and something to prove. You mentioned an album coming, so that takes me further into this year. Have you guys already started like recording that album, writing that album? It sounds like there's quite a few details already.
Yeah, the album's pretty much written. We just need to. That is one of the things with being in lockdown, is we've been able to write. We write digitally anyway. You know, a lot of the time we've been writing. You know, someone will write a song, send it to me. I put the lyrics over it. Everyone does their own individual parts. We've always done that even before this. You know, I haven't written a song in a room, say with Peter, the guitarist, for a long time. You know, with an acoustic. We don't really work like that anymore. We've sort of moved with the times. But yeah, the songs are practically written. We're just fine tuning them now. It should be about, you know, January that we should be returning to the studio. Yeah, we're pretty shocked that we've managed to get it written already. So yeah,
there we go. Beautiful. My only other question is, should we be expecting maybe some live streams, maybe more music videos or lyric videos? How in this time, without playing shows, is Attic Theory approaching the fan connection that would normally happen out on the road? Well,
what we've been doing, we have been doing a lot of live streams, but we've kind of quieted them down a little bit, because we obviously want people to sit and listen to the EP. So what we've been doing is we've just been, you know, do a lot of posts. We're going to be doing a lot more videos. We do lots of silly videos. We're going to be doing a lot more of them towards Christmas to keep people entertained. With our fans, it's not just about the music for us. It's about keeping them, you know, their mental health up as well as ours, and we like to interact with them, even if it's not just about the music. And you know, it's one of those things. We'll be doing a lot more live streams, etc., at the beginning of the year to get us back into, get us gig ready again, I think. But there's nothing at the minute. We haven't got anything sort of confirmed just yet, because we're trying to focus on, fine tuning the album so we can hit the studio straight away.
Yeah. And something you mentioned there, I just wanted to touch base on for anybody who is still listening or watching. I love you. Is you mentioned mental health, and I read a very scary stat recently that suicides are up 60% this year, at least in Canada alone. So if you go to nhs.uk, they have some information there and some hotlines if you are feeling suicidal at all. And then in Canada as well, we have a suicide hotline for Canada. So if you're feeling that way at all, then please reach out to 833-456-4566. You can call somebody at 833-456-4566, or you can shoot a text message to 741-741. Unfortunately, Lewis, I wasn't able to find a number that quickly for NHS, but they do have information on their website at nhs.uk. So since you had mentioned mental health, I just wanted to bring that up, that it is something that has strongly affected people this year, more so than I had even thought myself. But apparently that's up 60% this year just in Canada alone. So definitely cool that you guys are working on making sure that your fans are taken care of all around.
Yeah, that's one of the things as well. Yeah, because we just don't want to. We don't want to focus too much on, us being in lockdown, because one of the things for me, like none of the songs are actually written about lockdown on the EP or the album. If people get that idea, that's, I don't mind that, because that's what, that's what the whole point of the journey of the song is. They can make their own decision of the meaning. But for me, I'm not going to write a song for anyone that's about lockdown, because everyone's been in that for the last year. Nobody really cares. Everyone wants to be far away from that as possible. I think I've only heard one song that I enjoyed that was about lockdown, but it wasn't. You didn't really get that message. But I don't want to focus on that. I think we all need to focus on, the new beginning that we've got of in 2021, and the way the new world is. And I just think that like the last thing people want is me to be preaching on about how my lockdown was. So for their mental health alone for their mental health alone, I make sure that isn't always in the back of my mind. I want to write. I like a lot of the songs on the album and even on the EP. They may be aggressive songs, but a lot of them have a positive message. I always try and get that across. And again, that's another thing for the sign of an active mind, keeping people, keeping your mind active, keeping yourself sane. That's the only way you can move forward as a person and move forward in this life. And I have like a philosophy where it's the whole thing about hitting the ground running. And I feel like that's what, everybody in this world, especially us in 2021, are going to have to do. We're just going to, pick ourselves up, dust off our legs and crack on with this new world. So
that's right. Beautiful. All right. Well, that concludes my questions. Is there anything that I missed, Lewis, that you wanted to chat about?
No, I think you covered absolutely everything, to be honest.
Absolutely everything. Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming back onto the Rock Metal Podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.